Here's a funky tale. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Everton ClubCall. Phone in if you're a Premier member, of course. Yeah, it's just got a little bit windy.
It's gone cold.
It has gone a bit.
It's gone that little bit of coldness before the rain comes.
Yeah. Joel Murphy, just before we go, has gone straight in there with 2 feet. Hit the like button or we're getting Antonio. So there you go. Joel told you. Joel has told you. It's up to you lot. It's up to you lot. Hit that like button or Mikel Antonio is coming in.
Andy Smith wants to know if I can do a full show in Ned's voice. I don't think, number one, I don't think that's appropriate.
No.
And number two, it'll be annoying. And number three, I think it'll probably hurt my voice after a while.
Yeah.
And you're going, we've got a phone call from Joe in St. Louis. Hello, Joe. How you doing?
Can't do that. That wouldn't be...
Face,
That's what you sound
That's
like.
your voice.
You haven't got any deeper frequency. Can you imagine how squeaky you want?
Look at the knot. Look at the knot. Look at the knot.
I can download a frequency analyzer right now. We can see who's got the more lower frequencies in their voice.
I think it's probably me, to be fair.
Well, you're not part of this conversation, Barry.
See, I've got deeper frequencies because I'm taller.
Barry.
So therefore, there's further for it to go. It's just science. It's just science.
You're not made out of wood.
It's just science, mate.
Resonating.
I'm just science.
That's face.
Science.
Your face is
Can you imagine?
You should have your camera
No,
on.
you should have the camera.
Your face is brilliant.
You're not well today. What difference does that make?
Doesn't matter.
I look terrible.
You don't
look terrible
look like
every day.
Ned. Just put it on. Let people see your facial expressions are what people want.
Before in the toilet, and I walked out, and Paul could hear me, and he went, "Have you been sick?" And I went, "Almost." And he went, "Have you just seen that you've just signed Michael Antonio or something?"
Oh, come on. Michael Antonio's all right. They'd be terrified. Everton signed Antonio. Liverpool be terrified. Bullies them.
I love that. I was almost sick. I was almost sick.
What happened? No, actually, don't.
Never seen the likes
Let's
of it.
move on. Let's move on. Yeah. So, with Shea Adams being linked again, what are your views on it, people? Let us know. Which striker do you want Everton to sign? Is Yusuf Chimiti enough? Is that it? What else do we need? Everton Viking says Ped can do Ned's voice and Baz can do his Dick L voice. The dream.
That is the. I don't know if it is. That's not the dream. That's headache.
Can you both do a full show in Barry Williams' voice? Showing you. Showing you.
Stop it. I don't know what he said.
I hope it's off.
Not sure.
I hope it's off.
Yeah, so who do you want? Who should we be bringing in? Is, after Chimiti, is it another striker you're looking for? Or do you want Everton to strengthen in another area? Let us know. Let us know.
Maybe if Ned could put a poll in the comments, that would also help.
Yeah.
I'm not busy.
Yeah.
What are you busy with? Looking up what car you're going to get next?
No thumbnails.
I mean, nearly Great Nate has said, who should the club be looking at up front who A, is not being linked with the club so far, and B, could be a reasonable get for a reasonable price? Well, Acor Adams is one I've said. Miles Lieberman at Charlton is another one. There too. I've answered your question.
Don't forget, this is a call-in as well. Call in if you want to go ladder, which is obviously what we say.
Well, one that says scream if you want to go louder. Kevin Maloney says chat if you want to go louder. And that's... It's there. Never mind chat. AT says hello, lads. Morning. Morning. Why is it morning where you are, AT? Let us know.
Because the only place that it could possibly be morning is Australia, New Zealand.
But it'd be like... No, because it'd be like...
What are we on? But if he was in LA, it'd be morning.
That is true. That is true.
Where are we there? Andreas says hello, lads. Hello, Andreas. John was the reason why we were a bit late. To be fair, we were just ironing out a few things. In all fairness,
Dotting I's,
crossing
T's.
Brandon, who's a Bolton fan, says I've got a lot of time for Everton. Hope you get on the right path soon because you're too big of a club to fall like you are doing. Thank you very much, Brandon. Much appreciated. Hopefully we'll be a bit better than we were last season.
Would help.
Yeah, definitely. The Blues says a like ratio of 1 in 5 viewers is snide. Sort it out, Blues. Your words, not ours, but yeah, I have to agree. Andre says, thank you guys so much for this stream. My life is so shit at the moment. So I'm so thankful for this stream. Andre, speak to someone, mate, if you're feeling like that, seriously. But if this helps you and cheers you up for a little bit, then thank you. Get involved. Aluminium wants Bull idea. Yeah. Stephen Evans says Kiefer Moore. Good cover for Dom. He's one you've mentioned in the
I would have had him last year. I don't think, I'm not sure I'd have him now, but I would have had him last year. But
just as an option. Liam says Che Adams because his middle name is Everton.
It is Everton. It very
Everton.
much is Everton.
Yeah. It is.
It's as good a reason as any, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, there's probably better
in
reasons.
the scouting report.
Hang on, is it as good a reason as any? Well, if one of those reasons is, no, this lad's actually brilliant and scores
If
goals.
you had two players, right, one's Mopai, one's got Everton
Changing
in
the
his name,
parameters, but yeah.
right, and you had two scouting reports and one scouting, what is all the things Mopai does, and this fella's named Everton.
Yeah, are you going to go with, of course you are.
No, that's science.
Just science, yeah.
It's science.
The Blues says Che Adams isn't great, but he's a similar level to DCL. I'd prefer others, but I understand. Is he? No.
I really... I was thinking about this yesterday. Yeah. It really surprises me how much our fans talk down Dominic Calvert.
It's crazy.
It's mad. It's like people made an idea about him when he was coming through, and that's decided that was it, and they could never change their opinions on him. And I've stuck to it, and because he's got injured, he's somehow become a worse player, which he hasn't, because he demonstrated that last season in games against Crystal Palace and Brighton and others, that when he's on it, he's on it. And when he's not playing, you literally see the difference. It's there. It's literally there for 2 seasons. A player does not play. This is how bad we are. A player plays at his best level, and suddenly the team's a lot better. It's mad how much we talk him down.
It's crazy that people have that notion of him and yet talked Ellis Sims up like he was the top draw striker.
Yeah.
And Ellis may well develop into that, but he was nowhere near ready. Dom's very, very good. Very, very, very good. Injuries have curtailed what? Put it this way, I honestly believe had he not suffered injuries, he wouldn't be playing for Everton anyway. No, he'd have been sold. Someone would have bought him. Arsenal would have bought him. He is a very good player. I don't understand why people play him. I can understand people being frustrated with him, but I don't understand why people say, he's not very good. He's brilliant. On his day, he's tremendous.
And if you did think he was rubbish, you're allowed to change your mind. Like, literally now, I believe Dwight McNeil is like just below Messi. That's just slightly still my opinion of him now. That wasn't my opinion 12 months ago. I had him more around the Ronaldo level. But now, because I'm way like Ronaldo. But now he's like, Mac Messi.
No.
That's his nickname.
No, it's not his nickname.
Wait, in fact,
this is like Dick L trying to have Tony G.
I've been upstairs and I've already sorted the t-shirt out for him. The Mac Messi t-shirt. Just going to be him in between 2 big buns.
He's a big Mac.
Have we got Pat?
He's a big Mac.
Have you just gone on to that? Right, we've got Pat. Don't forget, this is Club Call, so you can give us a call if you don't know how. Just go on our Toffee TV Premier, and you will find out. Pat, how are you, mate?
I'm all right. How are you doing, Pat?
I'm all right. I'm okay. What are your thoughts on the new nickname taken over for Dwight McNeil, Mac Messi?
Stop it! Seriously, stop it!
Well, I mean, they both are left-footed, and they both can strike the ball really hard.
Are you talking about? I thought you were talking about Ronald McDonald. Then
the differences are almost indistinguishable.
Yeah, literally. One's playing at the peak in Europe. The other guy skated off to America because he knows.
Unbelievable.
He knows what's coming for him.
He knows that someone's coming for his crown.
Exactly. Would you rather I sat here and called him crap?
No.
Well then, pipe down.
It's
then
not Mac Messi. Call him Mac Jesus or something. Mac whoever you want.
You think Messi is more important than Jesus?
The Catholic
Church will be on the bell like that.
Fred,
Someone
call him Whatever, Mac.
Oh my God.
Biden, call him whatever you want. I'm just thinking of
He's
names.
a frail old man.
Mac Ned, call him whatever you want, but just don't call him Mac Messi, because people are using that name and I can't. You know.
Max Latan.
Yeah, call him Max Latter. There you go. Mac
Go on,
Headroom.
Pat.
No, okay.
Oh, I was until yesterday. I was kind of very nervous about this transfer window, and I still am to a degree.
I was going to say, what happened since yesterday, Pat? That all of a sudden now you can't.
Well, I mean, what's the guy's name? The young striker that we're getting
Chimity.
getting from sport.
Yusuf Chimity, yeah.
Yeah, he fits again that profile. He's kind of has a similar. I mean, when we brought Dom in, right, he was an unproven striker that we were forced into using, really, because all the other options were kind of either crap or didn't work out, and so could be something beneficial. But again, prospects and young players sometimes fail, though, so you have to take that risk. But we would hope it would be a little bit lower price, but it seems like we're not a good option. I'm seeing reports today that Nanto's would be more interested staying at Leeds than coming, and I was really hoping, because he's a guy I think could have been a good add, and maybe hopefully we can still convince him. But I was really hoping that it would be, we'd get Njuma, then Nanto, and El Bilal Torre, and that would be a nice 3 in the attack that we could go for. But apparently those things are much harder, as Deitch himself said, that we've been missing out on transfer targets. That's something I wanted to bring up. What is it that's causing us to miss out on these transfer targets? Is it the board? Is it Deitch? Is it the team's financial turmoil? Is it a combination?
Money, I think. First of all, with the Nonso thing, I don't believe for a second he'd rather stay at Leeds than come to Everton. That's not what most of the reports are saying. Most of the reports are saying he wants to come to Everton. Seen the odd one saying Italy, which is fine. No going back home and all that. I get all that. But in terms of why aren't we getting players over the line? Well, first of all, you've got to get in the room with them, and you only get in the room with them by being able to match terms that other clubs are doing, and Everton have been able to do that with a lot of the players. But then you will always have players who would look at Sean Deitch and go, is this really what I want? Does this suit what I want? And you'll have other players who look at Everton right now and go, it seemed to struggle last couple of years, or certainly where Bilal Toure is concerned. Premier League's unforgiving. He's 21. He only had 15 games last season for Almeria. They're in Europe, Atalanta, aren't they? Fifth in Serie A, more stable than we are. So I can understand those kind of. I can understand it. And don't forget, they'd already agreed terms with them and Almeria anyway. If you listen to some people, Everton didn't even match Atalanta's final bid. So they had no chance of getting them anyway. If you believe some people. So I don't know. I think players will always, and they should do as well, players should look at everything, really, because they need to give themselves the best opportunity to succeed at the club. It shouldn't be a case of going, well, Everton are paying me $2,000 a week more, I'm going to go there. It should be, does this club suit me more than this club? Right now, as much as I don't want it to be the case, Everton isn't the most appealing club to go to.
No.
But I still do feel that we have got to pull. It's just getting in the room with them players.
I don't know if we talked about this last week or the week before, but it's a case of building it up, isn't it? Slowly. It's about getting a player in and showing, he does have a trajectory, and then getting another one and getting another one, and that'll be a slow process. I think the club really are starting from a really low bar, and it isn't a case of we're a Premier League team, so it's all right. Atalanta have got a fantastic track record of taking players, making them better, and then giving them opportunities to go to really good clubs, and we've seen that this week with Højlund going to Manchester United. So I can understand why he chose that club over Everton. Everton are just all the noise around them it's everything, isn't it? It's why often when we talk about stories of Everton, why we talk about, like, when we see the stadium stuff, and it's like, if anyone puts it in a negative light like we've seen this week, it's like there's no need for that at all, because there's a lot going on at Everton that's negative. You don't have to make good things look negative, and it's about turning those negatives into positives. It's why we talk about the club doing communication more, because you can change narratives. Seen yesterday a piece come out of the club about how they're doing well from the commercial point of view. Do you know what? That's good. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Just signed on with kick streaming and all these things. Push the positives as much as you can. Talk to the fans about them, and hopefully that perception will change. But the ultimate of changing perceptions is getting higher up the table and giving these players a chance to show themselves, express themselves, and that they've got a future, and that it's not like, oh, Sean Dyche doesn't work with kids. Well, hopefully that changes. Hopefully Branthwaite gets a chance this season, and that Onana continues, James Garner continues, and hopefully that perception is, these do give people a chance, because in the last 20 years, Everton have given lots of chances to a lot of young players to develop their careers and move on. And those players have done really well, whether it be a John Stones, whether it be a Wayne Rooney before him, a Ross Barkley, Romelu Lukaku. Everton have been a great platform to move on to that next stage, but it's never been looked at like the way we look at sort of Brighton now, because we didn't look at it like that. We looked at it as in we're trying to build something for us, whereas maybe other people, of Roberto Martinez certainly, he looked at it thinking, I know these are not good enough for us. We're just trying to get the most out of them before they move on. And so we've
good for us.
We've been doing that for a very, very long time. Before that, you had your Rooneys, you had your Franny Jeffers, you had your Michael Balls. You've had a lot of players who've come through Everton, have got better and moved on, and gone to like clubs at the time who are in a much better position than us. So yeah, Arteta's another one, obviously later on in his career, but loads of players have been looked at and have been wanted, whether it be also people like Baines and Joleon Lescott. Obviously he did make the move. So we've always been a really good place. It's about re-establishing that again and saying we are a brilliant destination to get your career going. The grass isn't always greener. Someone like Pienaar showed that, but at least someone wanted to come in and say, you're a Champions League player, we want to take you in the Champions League. We've seen it with Richarlison as well. We have been a fantastic breeding ground, and if you get enough of them at one time, you can create a good side, and it's about just showing people that you can do that.
Yeah, and we also get people who, once we get them in the door, they constantly, I rarely have heard, outside of people who have very badly flopped or just have not fit with the club, a lot of people who end up staying just talk about how once they're here, it's harder to leave, and they find the atmosphere inviting. They find the team very connects well. The fan base is huge, obviously, and has a worldwide audience. And a lot of people don't know that till they're in the door at Finch Farm and step onto the field at Goodison and hear that 40,000 people roar for them. And I think that's something that we need to get over. It's the same issue, I think, maybe as with Dyche, is if you watch, TIFO or other things about how, people among tactical circles are sort of the more popular sort of tactical shows, talk about Dyche. He's actually more of a tactician and more of a kind of a thinking manager than people want to do. But he has this reputation, and I feel like Everton have this reputation as well, and it's kind of combining a little bit. And I hope we see that both of them break that mold and can see that, because can see an improvement, can see that we're not just an old kind of buddy club that's kind of stuck in the past, that's down on its luck, but we're still the people's club. We still have a worldwide audience. We still can bring players through and develop them, and we will show you love if you work hard for us. And I feel like there's a huge attraction once you're in the door. It's just, it seems right now it's harder to get them in. And I just wanted to see if you guys were seeing that difference between the players before they come in and they're a little reticent right now, as opposed to the way that Everton players talk about being at the club.
Yeah, I think what's funny as well, Pat. That's like a weird perception of the whole of the city as a whole, is that there's this idea of what it is, and then when people come here, they go, "Actually, this is fantastic! What a fantastic place!" And you get the feeling of that with the city. You get the feeling with certainly with the club at the moment, and something like the stadium could change that massively, where people go, oh my God, look, you're getting to play this brand new ground every week, and it's amazing. The facilities are amazing, and then they'll go to, they'll see Finch Farm and see how the conditions are there and how amazing that place is, and people will suddenly go, no, this is actually a good place to go. Everything does look a little bit doom and gloom, but yeah, you're right as well. The thing with Dyche is, I think Dyche, oftentimes you're right, he doesn't always get the plaudits, because this is a guy who, certainly when he was at Burnley, he had very limited resources. So how do you make the most of that? Well, you make the most of it with sports science, with being fully up to date with, all the latest tactical analysis. Have all the number guys for your players who are coming, who you want to bring in, the numbers for the players you already got, because you have to do the more work. You have to go into the finer details to get more out of your players, and I think that's something that he's quite good at as well. So it's just convincing the players in the first place. But but the other side of it, I think, like Baz just said there, is if you can't match the offer of another club either, it makes it a little bit more difficult as well. If a club's going to offer 5 million up front and you can't offer that as such, then it's always going to be harder as well. You have to convince the club and the player. Then it becomes doubly as hard. And I think that, again, that's a difficult position we find ourselves in.
Yeah, I was hoping at the beginning of this window, when we were linked with bigger names, or names of up and coming names, we were linked with two strikers that I really thought would have been good, and they're probably, given that we couldn't reach Atalanta's Almira's valuation that Atalanta hit, that probably means the two that I was hoping for, which were Torre and Balogun, are probably out the window. But that's sort of the two I was kind of hoping for. Of one of those two would come in, but I guess that's probably out of our price range now. It's probably in that 10 to 25 million, right? Is probably our price range that we're probably comfortable, unless we get very large sales going forward.
Yeah, I think, I don't think there's going to be a sale as such. It doesn't look like it anyway. So it is going to be. I think what you're going to find in the next couple of weeks is the market's going to come to us. I think the market's going to change massively in the next couple of weeks, and you're going to start looking at players who are either free or the clubs want to get rid of them. So the negotiation becomes more favourable for us. It's not an ideal situation, but at least it's not like it was last season, where there was 6 games getting played before you could get a player through the door. I think, there's 3 games. If we could get players in, or have certainly more of a starting 11 available for the first 3 games, that means having Dominic Calvert-Lewin hopefully somewhere around the first team, whether it's off the bench or starting games, then it gives us a little bit more time. I think if Dom starts the first game, I think we're all feeling a little bit more relaxed about the situation and thinking that gives us time to get the next one in, if we haven't already got them in by then. But I do believe that certainly in the latter 2 weeks of August, the transfer window is going to really explode, because I think there's so many players who are available. There's so many players who are available on a free, and they all need to go somewhere at the end of the day. Especially, players who are in the last year of the contracts and things like that. So it's going to be, I still think there's a lot of interesting stuff to happen. Just because the season starts in 10 days' time doesn't mean it's all done. There's going to be a lot still going on.
Mm-hmm. So the last question about this, as we're talking about attackers and our issues with them, is I read a piece on the Everton website about Decore saying he didn't really want to play the 10 role, but that he was kind of forced into it, and did that when we kind of played that 4-5-1, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 kind of hybrid thing, where Decore was almost always pushed up. That's weird, because I think both of you had said that when he came in, he talked about, from Watford, he constantly talked about how he wanted to be in the goals. He wanted to be more involved, wanted to be that. I felt like that 10 role and his pressing is better, especially when he doesn't have to, when he has people more behind him, that are better at tracking back, that are better, like Garner or Nana or Ghana, who are better defensively than him. Is that 10 role suitable to him? Can we fit him in that? Or is that something that it seems like we're going to move away from? Because especially with McNeil gone, that means Decore is going to have to do a lot more work until he's healthy, or we bring someone else in, or Danjuma will have to do that work.
Go on, Baz.
Well, I imagine Danjuma will play on the left, so the way they've lined up so far, it kind of has been a 4-5-1, 4-3-3, hasn't it? So you've got 3 midfield players. I don't know where else does the Corey want to play in a double 8 for Everton. I don't know. But he's better breaking into the box. He gives the ball away too cheaply, I think, if you have him further back, and I think that worries people. He gets forward better than any of our other midfield players, and that's the thing why Dyche put him there, and he weighed up with, 5 goals in the end. I think if you... Iwobi's the only other one, really, that could do what the Corey does. But Iwobi doesn't come up with the goals, which we've discussed, although he is far more creative than the Corey. So that's the issue for Everton, isn't it? Is that what you do right now if McNeil is out? Well, the easiest thing to do would be to just simply swap McNeil for Danjuma and have Ashley Young behind him. I know Mikalenko played 45 minutes yesterday against Monza, but I imagine Ashley Young will play against Fulham. Unless, of course, he done something different and had Iwobi central, Danjuma on the right, Ashley Young on the left and Mikalenko a left back. And then you know what I mean? So there is options for him, but I'm a little bit surprised with the Corey saying he doesn't really want to play that role, because that's the role that I think suits him the best.
Yeah, I agree. I was very shocked by that article. That was just something I wanted to bring up, because it was something he's saying essentially, he said, paraphrasing, did it out of desperation, but that's not where he sees himself. He kind of sees himself as an 8. Feels like every midfielder says they see themselves as an 8, though, unless they're like a real destroyer like Ghana or like, someone like that. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. The manager has a very clear plan, doesn't he, of what he wants to do. So we'll see what he comes up with that. But that is very interesting that's how he sees himself.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
We'll see.
Nice one, Pat.
All right.
Cheers, Pat.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
You. Cheers, mate. You know.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah. Interesting one. I don't know what the Corey's.
Sometimes players overstate themselves, don't they? So therefore, they will claim they are better than they are, which I understand, and therefore that you can't pigeonhole them. But I think we've seen enough of him to know that where he played at the back end of last season is his best position.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? What about this? Just dead quick. Saudi side Al Shabab have approached Fulham winger Willian with a formal bid, as they have concrete interest. Willian, who signed a new Fulham deal 10 days ago, but now the player's agent wants to speak to the club.
Oh, well, at least Fulham will make some money on him. Fair play. Fair play.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Fair play to them. Right, we've got Degs. We've got Degs on the line. Quick double call. Go on, Degs.
Hi, lads, how you doing?
Okay, mate. How are you?
I'm a bit shocked, actually.
Oh, go on.
Well, is it me, or does there seem to be a plan?
Oh, come on. Let's not start throwing words on like plan. Come on.
I'm only joking. And then the other day, we had somebody from the club come out and actually tell us their business plan.
Oh yeah. No, these sounds like foreign things to me. I
know, but are they listening? Do you think? No.
Maybe.
Because this is what we wanted, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of these, we're going for this guy and we're going for that guy. That's these little smokers in the back of the pub who write for the newspapers, who have got nothing else to do now because they're 48 hours behind everybody else. But I think this lad is from Italy. That it's too strong a rumour not to have some basis, isn't it?
Committee, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. No, listen, I think it's well documented that deal is moving. A lot of people saying his medical's tomorrow, so we'll wait and see on that one.
Yeah. Are they in the country, the club?
No, I wouldn't have thought they were here. No, because I don't think they've got any. They haven't had any other pre-season games this week, so I don't think they'll be in the country yet. So it'd probably be more like. I
thought he might come in and then unveil him on Saturday or something.
Well, he might. He'll save us the fare, won't he? Got to think of these things. You know what I mean?
Well, we have, haven't we? Because it's a long bus ride, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. If you're coming by bus, I wouldn't fancy going
Yeah.
through Dover this time of year.
No.
Well, you could do the ferry, couldn't you, from northern Spain?
Well, you could, but you know.
You know.
Yeah, I think they'll probably
Well,
just fly Dex, to be
yeah.
honest.
Do you think so?
I imagine so.
Okay.
Right. But, you know, we
I
never know.
noticed we're not one of the clubs that's being bandied about flying everywhere.
No, we haven't. we haven't been accused of taking frivolous flights.
No. There's no need to.
No. Well,
No.
those bicycles in Switzerland, I mean, you can get a long way on them, can't you?
Tremendous. Keeping the carbon footprint low. I like it.
Have you ever seen so many footballers that can't ride bikes?
I guess they don't go on bikes very often. That's why, unless they're the stationary ones.
Well,
Remember-
yeah. I mean,
Do you know-
McNeil, he was taking his life in his hands with that camera, wasn't he?
Do you know what,
Yeah.
Degs? Do you know what it is? Do you ever remember Kevin Keegan on Superstars?
Don't talk, you know,
Remember when
Mr. Perm.
But you remember when he fell off his bike on Superstars? Remember what happened to it all? Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the
They're
fear.
scared of it.
It's the fear.
Yeah, it's why they're not allowed motorbikes and stuff like that, isn't it? They kind
Flog. I
of
love the flog.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
no,
anyway,
go on.
I'm just quite happy at the moment. Just
Right.
settle into it. You know, I do think there's a plan. I see it. Dice just comes across as, I'm not sure he's a Moyes, but he's that sort of guy who knows what he wants and he's going to try and get it.
No, I think so. Yeah, yeah, and I think he'll know what he wants. He'll know that the team's not exactly. He'll know what players he needs. He'll say to them, "If you want me to do the job, you're gonna have to give me the players. I'm not a miracle worker."
I was very interested in lunchtime when you were talking about there's not ever going for any right wingers. I'm trying to remember one.
Well, we haven't.
I go back a bit.
Yeah.
I go back a bit. Do you know what I mean?
It's been a while since we bought an actual out-and-out right winger. It really is. And
no, Dave Thomas was left side as well, wasn't he?
oh, we've had them since then, Dex. Come on, we've had Trevor Steven,
since then.
Andre Kanchelskis, players like that.
Oh, well, yeah,
But, you know.
tricky Trev. Do you know what I mean? But we're not a club that's ever really played that way. I don't
Gerard Delafeu,
think. Yeah.
Kevin Morales. Although Morales, to be fair, Morales played off the left as well.
I've got to be honest, I just put a big question mark after Delafeu.
Yeah, but he was a right winger, wasn't he? He was a right winger.
Yeah. Hey, what about Drenthes going for James Bond? You see that?
Drenthes going for James Bond.
Yeah.
Fair
You know
play.
he's gone missing. Do you know he went missing, didn't he? Nobody knew what was going on. He's been acting now. He's been in films.
There you go. I mean,
Fair enough.
he looks the type that'd be in films.
Yeah,
I'm not saying what type of film.
No.
But you
Yeah,
know,
I
he
get
looks
what
like
you
he can
mean.
act.
Hot tub.
He looks like he can act.
It's just that I read an article online and I thought it was dead funny.
Fair
Drenthes
play.
James
Listen,
Bond.
you know, he didn't turn up for a
Why not?
semi-final, but he can be James Bond. Fair play to him.
Well, you know, he's the type of guy who'll turn up for James Bond, I think.
Yeah.
He's
I'd
amazing,
say
isn't he?
so.
Yeah.
I'd say
I've
so.
got so much rubbish in my head, it's unbelievable. Anyway, it's an appeal, really. I don't know whether you saw my little note.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming to the game
Yeah,
On
on Saturday. Yeah.
and Soccer Bus can't tell me if Soccer Bus is running on Saturday.
Soccer Bus can't tell you if Soccer Bus is running on.
Oh, okay.
You'd think Soccer
No.
Bus would know.
You'd expect him
Well,
to.
this is it. You contact Mersey Rail, who runs Soccer Bus, and they
Right.
put you on the chat. There's the phone number there in the contacts, and this nice guy called Henry has messaged me back. He says, "Oh, I'm unaware. I don't know. I'm the liaison with Soccer Bus. Nobody's chatted to me about it. I'll get back to you." So we're just wondering anybody out there that's coming in from Southport. Save me getting the train and having to walk all the way up from Kirkdale or something like that.
Yeah.
Can help me out. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's a good one. So if anyone's travelling in from Southport, any Premier members coming in that way, Degsy could do with the lift. So
Just I'm actually on Broad Street, so it's that easy. So just message me.
Just stick your thumb out.
Yeah.
put your Everton
If I-
scarf on and stick your thumb out.
Oh, I'm not wearing that. No, not too friendly. My God.
All right.
You know, it's like carrying me around. And if I was,
Just get a
and if
smaller
I was-
scarf.
If I was to stick my thumb out, I'd probably fall
Fucking
over.
Doctor Who there turning up. Degsy who?
Well, you've seen that scarf with all those badges on, haven't you? It's
Yeah.
heavy.
It can get heavy, yeah. All right, no
I'm
worries.
going to retire. I've decided it's going to get retired the last game of Goodison.
Okay. Sounds good,
Put
Degs.
it away.
Sounds like a
Put
plan.
it away. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? As long as
Absolutely.
I get there, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
mate.
So that's really what my call is about. I'm on the
Nice
scratch
one,
for
mate.
lift.
All right, mate.
That's
And,
fair enough, mate.
Why wouldn't you be?
You know, but I'm just most of the names that's being bandied about, I wouldn't say no to.
No.
Okay.
Even Che Adams as a backup number 9.
Mm.
We're really looking for a new number 9.
Yeah.
We are, to be fair.
We need someone to say to Dom, listen, challenge me. And get his head straight and say, well, because everybody knows, if Dom had stayed fit, he'd be slotting in for Harry Kane in England.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he was number 2, wasn't he, for England?
He was, yeah.
A few years ago.
Well, he would be. I don't get this downer on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. His head's not right. He's had bad injuries. But any footballer that's had the injuries as he's had and expect him to come back, you know, and his head's not in a mess, then you don't know anything about football, do you?
Absolutely.
You know.
Fair play, Degs.
Yeah. But anyway, scrounge, live from Southport Saturday.
No worries. All right, mate. Take care.
Cheers, guys.
All right, thanks. See you, Degs. Degsy
Bye-bye.
calling
Thanks,
from.
guys.
Hi, Degs.
Hi, Degs. Ta-ra. Degsy calling from the Southport Bayou there. With frog chorus in the background. Boom, boom, boom. Aye. He was full McCartney. Oh my God, that's amazing. The Southport. Go on. The Southport Bayou. Get it on. There he is. Bounce it, Ned. Degsy on phone looking for lift from Frogport. It's right. If anyone's travelling in from Southport and you don't mind a frog in your car, hit Degsy up.
He did sound like he had a frog in his throat. Well, hey.
It was everywhere. Everton Vikings says some of our fans are proper weird about Dom. Someone even a few weeks ago was saying he was Championship League One player. It's genuinely lunacy. I think people won't let their own egos be wrong when they judged him right off the bat and ignored the progress he made. You also get weird homophobes who don't like him because of his modelling and the clothes. Yeah. And then you have the people who just want to follow the edgy crowd and say he isn't good enough.
DC Jesus.
Or DC Biden. Remember? Dick L says, I figured out something about... There he is. Dick L.
There he is.
He's here.
You got to use the voice.
I figured something out about the RS today. They have been relentless since that Daily Mail article indicated that the stadium was stagnating. I thought they just hated us and wanted it all to fall apart because it'd be funny. But today, I figured out that they are genuinely afraid of the new stadium. They need it to fail because they know it could be special for us.
Yeah.
Today, I heard a couple of them discuss how they hope England fail in the bid to get the Euros because they don't want the tournament using our new stadium over Snake Rock. It's fear. All their jokes and jibes about having no history in a new stadium, it's all a cover-up because they have fear. Absolutely. You're correct. Dick, you've
cracked the case.
You've got to you've unveiled it. You've unveiled it, mate.
You've pulled the
skin
the head off.
The head off it. Yeah.
Head off
You've done well. You've done well, Dick. You've sorted it. That's what it is.
I believe.
Don't let them wind you up, mate. We've said this before. We say it on everyone. We say it on everyone. Just ignore it. Ignore it. I've just seen something here, but it's again. Where are you? Touched it and it's gone right up, as Dick was looking for. Oswald P. Haygood. What an American name this is. And I'm saying that because he says, I am just a novice American football fan.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been watching sports for 40 plus years and it looks to me like Deitch has a plan and we should give him a chance to make it happen. I think he will do, won't he? I think Everton will try to give him it. You've just got to see what happens, haven't you? Let's have a look. The Blue says about the Core surprised me as well, Baz, that from the Core, he's better in the 10 for me. I mean, what?
No, that's his position, isn't it? Yeah. I do think that players now and again, they get ahead of themselves and they think that, they talk themselves up. I can do this and I can do that. And they can't. and that's the top and bottom of it. That's the position he'll play in. He played in like the double pivots, and he wasn't good enough.
No.
That's why he found himself out the team. But Lampard wouldn't put him ahead of Iwobi because Iwobi and like Gordon was the players he wanted up there. So,
cool. Brandon asked a good question. The Bolton fan opinions on our number 5, Rico Santos. He was very good against us, wasn't he?
Yeah, good player him.
Quick and strong.
Yeah. Surprised he's like they've gone to League One, haven't you?
Yeah.
So surprised he's stuck around, especially with the constant sort of moving of players in those divisions. And you'd think someone maybe in the Championship would have at least had a sniff of him. Like
big and strong and quick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Mad. King Hoddle, I imagine he's a Spurs fan, or just really likes Glenn Hoddle, says it. The Saudis are becoming an existential threat to the established European football order. It's alarming.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this quite a lot. I think they're an irritant. They certainly throw a spanner in the works. I don't think it's for the elite though. I think it's more for people like us. I think it's more our level. I think they're gonna take away that level of player that helped clubs, mid-table clubs, sort of give them that one good player. That one good player is going to move to Saudi, and that could create an even bigger divide in the Premier League. So it could affect the Premier League long term because those games where maybe it was like, oh, anyone's got a chance against anyone, that might be the case now. I still think Man City and Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, they're just still going to get the players they want.
Yeah.
But everyone else is going to struggle to get those second, third tier players when they can be offered so much. So, it is. I think for the top teams, they're loving it. They're getting rid of the dead weight for players like someone like Mane moved, hasn't he, from Bayern Munich? No, the thought was it wasn't working. He was an irritant in the dressing room.
Yeah.
He wasn't going the way they wanted, but who was going to buy him on the wage he was on at 30 years of age? Now a team from Saudi have come in and gone, come here, mate, and they're like, they're made up. They're absolutely made up. So I think it does. It will
impact it.
It'll impact it that way. But I don't think we believe it's a long-term thing. I think we believe that they are trying to become an irritant, very much the way they did with Live Golf, which is we will make a mess of this for you, and we can make a mess of this for a long time, unless you allow us to come and sit at the top table with you and start making decisions. And that's what's happened in golf. It'll happen in other sports.
They'll run the Super League. Jakey Boy says don't put Jerry in the same combo as Andre. It was a conversation about right wingers who Everton have signed.
You've got to put players who play in the same position in the same brackets, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely, you have, because that's where he plays.
Yeah.
Like saying what goalies have Everton had, and you say Steve Simonson and Neville Southall in the same conversation.
Both goalies,
both goalkeepers, both played there. Stefan Vessels.
Not sure about that.
Know what I mean? He played in goal. End of story, didn't he? Brandon says, won't Miss Piggy give him a lift? The Kermit before. Where are we? Oh, here it is. It's arrived in St. Helens.
It's arrived. The joke got there in the end.
Got there in a minute. Where are we?
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near?
James says the hate on Dom started with the injuries, but it morphed into people thinking he's not good enough. It's nonsense. He's class, and anyone with a brain can see it.
See, I think it started before that. I think it started with people who just didn't think he was going to be good enough in the first place. I remember when he was like given the number 9 and stuff, people at them were like, no way good enough. I think what it was I think it was he was almost the representation of Everton's limitations. I think that's what people thought. I think they thought that our new number 9 should be someone to replace Lukaku and be that next big player. And it was like, well, no, it's Dom. And I think that can annoy people at the time, going, he's the limit of your ambition. And I think that's what it was. And of course, at the time, he was still a player growing, and he still was when he got the injuries. It's just that as a club, we piled all our hopes on him, literally, by not bringing anyone else in. So that can happen. Of course it can.
Yeah. The Blues said Royce and Trent in the hot tub time machine.
Hot tub time, yeah.
Yeah, he could easily do that, couldn't he? I see him just comfortably do it, couldn't he? Just bounce in.
I heard Tim Howard
the
was on podcast the other day talking about, someone said, did you have any bad ones while you were at Everton? Because obviously, like, you know, everything seemed to be like great guys and all this. And he was like, yeah, we had some bad ones, Trent. He was like, number one, you've come from Real Madrid, why are you here? Like, he literally said, why are you here? Like, what have you've come from Real Madrid, you know, turning up every day in a Rolls Royce to Finch Farm. He was like, and then he said, you know, one night he sneaked in and it all you know, he sneaked in with a few friends, and he was like, yeah, he was definitely a bad one, like. So, do you think that story, like, has been sort of taken by ex-players and gone, like, and they've run with it, like, oh, we need a really good story, oh, we'll tell this story about Drake, because it's like we know it like happened, but it's the way I've heard a few ex-Everton players talk about it, like they were all like almost like they all walked in the next day or something, you know what I mean?
But I think the problem was they were shocked because it was a couple of days for the FA Cup semi-final, and therefore he then followed it up by being late to Limesey for the train down to Wembley, didn't he? So Moyes left them alone, and it essentially cost us our opportunity to beat Liverpool, didn't it?
It did. Absolutely.
My guy Gay started the game instead. So, Dick L's back.
Is he back? Is he? Well,
you ready?
Expect not less.
Wife going to watch Barbie tonight. I quite fancied seeing it myself, but I can't go with her because she's going with the girls. What's all that about? I went to see Oppenheimer and tried to get her to come with me. Why is Barbie a girl-only thing?
I went to see it on Sunday, mate. It's not, but
she wants to go with a mate. Isn't Ryan Gosling in it?
Yeah,
He can.
Yeah,
there
but
you go.
He's not. He's an,
no, but
he's an idiot.
They want to go with the girls.
They're going to see it's because it's empowering. Empowers
is it?
Yeah,
Barbie?
it is. Empowers the women.
Okay.
Empowers
there you go.
Them.
Pedal now.
Empowers women. Fair play to them.
So, Dick, you just don't have to dress up like Ken and wait for her when she comes in. Get your sit-ups done, lad.
Plastic balls.
Aren't they more likely to be...
it's just smooth.
Aren't they more likely to
it's
be...
smooth, innit?
You know.
It's all smooth down there.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Where are we? John McCulloch says, lads, I've had an incredible idea where we should kill two birds with one stone. Get Traore and then get Johnson's baby oil to be our kit sponsor.
Yeah, you could do that. I'd rather just not. I'd just rather not get Traore. He's not.
He's frustrating, isn't he? He's really frustrating, isn't he?
In the land of frustrating players.
The speed of him down that right-hand side. And you'd be getting all Man United. And then he gets at the edge of the box and just whacks it to no one. You'd just be like, mate. Imagine if he just came and was amazing, though. It just all clicked. You'd have a hell of a player, wouldn't you? Powerful, lightning. Ask yourself the question. It's the Premier League season kicks off in 10 days. And he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Why is nobody taking him? If he's that good an option, why is nobody taking him so far? That's what you've got to. That's what you've got to look at, haven't you?
You've got to ask yourself.
No, you have, haven't you? And again, he's another one that, you know, later in the window, if he's still around, he becomes attractive to people, don't he? So we'll have to wait and see there. Everton Vikings says, speaking of Drenthe, which Moyes era signing do you think had all the potential to work out, but they let themselves down? For me, honestly, it would have been Drenthe or perhaps Joe. Drenthe really had a load of talent. I remember watching him destroy a few teams for us with his pace and 1v1s, but obviously his attitude let him down. As for Joe, I know we wanted him for ages, then City bought him. I actually thought his first loan was brilliant. It was. He really could have earned himself a contract with us if he hadn't lost focus in his second season. Don't know why he quite fell off just as much as he did, but I remember Moyes changed style. He came back, didn't he? Everton wanted him. City bought him. We got him on loan. He done well. I think he got 7 goals in the half a season. And then he come back the following season. And there was stuff going on in Brazil. He wasn't playing loads. Stuff going on in Brazil, wasn't it? And he went to Brazil and didn't come back, did he? He wasn't back. Moyes wanted him back a week before. They gave him a week off, I think, because he had an injury. And he didn't come back when he should have done, and that was enough for Moyes. They sent him back. I used to love the way Moyes called him Brazilian Joe. I love that.
They did another one.
Yeah.
Sea Lady was Joe.
But I don't know. I don't know why it didn't do better. But he was a good little player. Everton Viking says I love the Dick L content. Yeah. We all do.
Yeah.
Dick L's tremendous. His stories are tremendous.
What's really funny is, right, I just want to... So I've just got one of those new Blink cameras for the living room, just like a little camera, but I've got the audio on right now, so my missus and the dog are in the front room, and I've just got the microphone on to terrify them.
That's massively creepy. So all of a sudden she can hear you talking.
No, she can hear you talking.
Oh, she can hear me talking. Again, she's terrified. Turn it off.
She was like, housewife special, it's fine.
Yeah.
He'll protect us. You're not a ghost, though.
Look like one, because you're pale, but... Phil Young says tail power. There you go.
Why wouldn't you?
James says it's a bit hilarious seeing Arsenal now looking to replace Ramsdale. Their fans whinging about Pickford starting over Ramsdale for England now looks dumb. Pickford was, is, and ever shall be better.
People are consuming.
Consuming? What are they consuming?
People are assuming that Briar's replacing Ramsdale.
Well, he will be.
He will do.
How do you know?
Because why would Ryan agree to sign for Arsenal?
What if he goes there and doesn't perform?
But he will perform.
Ramsdale went there and he was number 2. And Leno stopped performing and Ramsdale got
He
in.
wasn't number 2, he went there and he was number 1.
He never started
He
straight
was
away.
number 1.
But he was ready to be the number 1 because they spent the money. They're not spending 40 million on a sub, are they? They're not.
Are you mad?
They're not, mate.
Why would you? But why would he go
Don't
there?
forget, he's got 3 options and he's chosen Arsenal.
Yeah,
Bayern Munich want him. He wants to go to Arsenal because Arteta said, you're my number 1.
I thought you were better than this, Ned. I thought you were better than this.
I just thought they really loved Ramsdale.
Clearly they don't.
Well,
Clearly they...
Arteta doesn't really love him, does he? And he's the only one that really matters, isn't he? Doesn't matter what the fans say. The manager makes the decision, doesn't he?
People have had good goalies, but I've known that they had to replace them if they wanted to win the league.
Carl Williams, Ramsdale is not better than Jordan Pickford in any universe. He's just not, mate.
He's not.
Honestly.
Man City had a very good goalkeeper, and they were like, no, you'll have to go, mate, because we need a better goalkeeper. Every position can be improved on the pitch.
Arsenal got rid of Chesney for Czech, didn't they?
I mean, I don't know if that's an amazing thing, but
Chesney was great.
every team, when you're a club, you've got... Man United have just made the decision. David De Gea. Loads of people go, oh, he's fine. They've gone, no, he's not.
See that video of Onana in his
Yeah.
game?
Oh, yeah, it's all right when he bullies defenders, but when Pickford bullies defenders, it's, I'd have murder if he done that with me. It's hilarious when other people do it.
I'd be fuming if Onana done it to me, though.
Why? You get it all the time.
You've been here 2 minutes.
Well, that's even better if I'm a fan or I'm the manager. I'm like, that's amazing. It's exactly why I bought you, to tell your defenders to stop being dopes. That's why they conceded so many goals last season from stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
That's what should be happening. You should be saying, just because we got away with it this time, it doesn't happen again.
He had 2 errors, didn't he, that led directly to goals, and
Against Dortmund.
Raya had 1. Not in the Premier League last season, Ramsdale. Arsenal are going to alienate Ramsdale or alienate Raya. Both will see themselves as first choice. It's an odd signing, says
They won't
says
both.
King Hoddle.
I don't think they will, because what'll happen is the manager will tell both of them who's the first choice. And that's why I can't see Raya signing without being told he's going to be the first choice. This whole you'll fight for your position as a goalkeeper is nonsense. It's never worked in the history of football. Never, ever worked.
No.
You have to make a decision. You have to tell everybody. And you have to tell your players, by the way, you have to say, he's the number 1. We are playing. You got to have, because there's loads, like, they might be, I don't know, because I haven't looked at it, but they might be different footed. So that makes a defender, if a defender's playing a back pass or receiving the ball, he's got to be in the right place. There's all these things need to be made. When you're playing football, it has to be instantaneous. When it's to Pickford, you're playing it back to his left foot all the time, aren't you? You know he can play with his right, but you're playing it to his left. There's all these things in football. I just don't think Personally, I don't believe that they're signing a foot. And I think Ray is better anyway. I think Ray's a much better goalkeeper. He looks more commanding to me. You just look at him, he looks bigger.
He's arrogant as well. He's got these confidence on the ball, yeah.
Ball playing goalkeeper.
James says Raya is way better, but the fans really love Ramsdale.
They really love
Well,
Raya.
they do. And he says neutral. James Williams says neutral still latch on to the freak mistake Pickford made in the derby. If he didn't make that mistake, neutrals would be licking his ass big time. He walks into half the Premier League teams. Angela says you two are so mean to Ned, but a winky face. No, she's done a wink. She knows. She knows. Stu Rogers says the oracle, that is Mark Goldbridge, thinks Ramsden's better. Mark Goldbridge, bless the kid, knows less about football than Ned's left toe. He's brilliant at what he does. He hasn't got a clue about football. He just hasn't got a clue about football. But he's very good at what he does, which is creating a persona. And he's a David Brent type character, isn't he? He's brilliant at what he does, but I wouldn't sit and have a realistic, proper conversation with Mark about football. Probably off camera I would, because we've met him off camera and he's very quiet and totally different than he is. But he's very good at what he does, to be fair. But I wouldn't use his opinion of whether Pickford's worse than Ramsdale. He's not, quite clearly. The Blue says Raya is better. The numbers back it up. We did, didn't we, the eye test as well? We did the numbers yesterday on the transfer show, and he's better. Raya's just better. Anyway,
coming up at 6:30 over on More Than the Game, we've got a fantastic interview with ex-Everton starlet, youngest player at the Premier League at the time, Michael Branch. Let's just have a look at this.
So say I'm playing and I've had a good game, I've scored. Say I look up and it's 70 minutes, and I've scored, I'm having a good game. I'd be like, come on, take me off now, in case I make a bad touch or I miss a chance. That's my head. Like, I want to go off now because I'm having a good game and I don't want to spoil it. So I was remanded for 4 months. So in them 4 months, I wasn't sure what my sentence was going to be. So I was still thinking I might get a year, I might even get like out. And then I got 7. It's like, what? So that knocked me for 6. I thought, I'm not doing 7 years. I might as well just go and top myself or something. But I've got to be careful not to project too far in the future. Oh, I want this, I want this. Just be happy with what you've got. Live in the moment, live in the day. And today's been a good day.
There you go. That'll be out at 6:30. You don't have to do nothing. Stay on this stream and you can go over and watch it. It is honestly, genuinely a fantastic interview where Michael bears his soul to Baz about all the issues. Not only what happened to him after football, but during football and what led to his basically his downfall and quitting the game before he'd got into his 30s. So honestly, and it does shine a light on the pressures young players face in the game. And this was, you know, when he was playing, it was young player. It was 25 years ago coming through. So you know, you can imagine how heightened those pressures are now. So it's definitely worth checking out. If you can't check it out straight after the show, then find some time for it, because honestly, it is a brilliant interview.
Ned, put the link in the description to More Than a Game channel. Ex-Manchester City and Wolves striker as well, of course, not just Everton. But no, he was absolutely brilliant. Dead interesting interview. Really highlighted things, didn't it? And it made me, as the person having the conversation with him, you start thinking about the pressures of those young kids, what's actually going on in their mind, because we do treat them as if they are a computer game, as if they're FIFA or whatever, don't we? We just expect them to turn up emotionless, play the game to whatever their skill set is and go home and not think about it while we do whatever. It's brilliant, honestly, from him. Go and watch it. It's dead insightful and lifts the lid on mental health struggles and everything else. So go and watch it. It's really good, honestly. Stephen Penton says, just been on the Goodison tour this weekend. I like the parts where we have been the first in many things, including Dixie Dean being the first ever number 9.
He was.
How all strikers strive for that shirt.
Yeah, he was.
Too. Roy Nixon says, talking of goalkeepers, whenever I've seen Virginia play, he's been excellent.
He was good at Bolton last week. He had one of the best. He had one of the best shots ratio last season, saves ratio, didn't he, in the whole of Europe? I know he faced a lot of shots.
In the Eredivisie.
But
He lost his
he
position, though, didn't he?
He did, but he had one of the best ratios. He probably should be number one somewhere, I'd imagine. But I think for this season, he'll be a competent number two for us for the season.
Yeah, that's right. JT says in minor defensive Goldbridge, his favourite ground is Goodison, and Everton was his first favourite club. Otherwise, yes, as you. But listen, I've said he's Mark's nice lad.
His name's not Mark.
Well, his name isn't Mark, but he's Mark Goldbridge, isn't he? He's a nice lad, and he's brilliant at what he does. He really is brilliant at what he does. So I was just talking of a football opinion about two goalkeepers. I massively disagree with him on. Fine. James says, I thought the rumour was he was a Forest fan. That's the rumour. I haven't known him long enough before he got on the Manc train. Where are we? Here. Carl Pickford is England's number one, isn't he? Regardless, isn't he? He's England's number one because he's better. It's just dead simple.
It's just science.
Pickford's better. This is from James. Better stopper, better passer, better long ball distributor. Not sure about sweeping actions and success rate. Eye test confirms to anyone who's played the position that he's better. Ramsdale made more errors, worse save percentage from Raya and Pickford for starters. There's the numbers. It's done. Anthony Young says, yeah, I've saw the Michael Branch interview. Very good and worth watching. Thank you very much. Michael Newport says, worked with Branchy for a day or two on an extension job a few years ago. He was slightly before my time. It was weird working with someone who's played for Everton, though. Yeah, no, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. So that's obviously a series that's getting bigger and bigger. So make sure you check it out.
Part of the reason why he was on as well is he's starting a running club, to try and help promote men's mental health. So I think they're doing the first one on Sunday down at Otterspool. I think it's at
Britannia.
8 o'clock in the morning at the Britannia pub. So they're called Social Striders on Instagram. So if that's anything anyone would like to get involved in, 8 o'clock, I think they're doing a 5k, very light run, just to start. So it'd be great for people to go down and even if you just want to go down and have a run, like they do for the park run, might be something that it's just something that he wants to get started, and he massively wants to help give back. I remember seeing him at Goodison last season. And it's the first time I'd seen him for a while. I've known Michael since I was 5 years of age. And the first time I'd seen him for a while, I said, what are you doing? And because he was doing that thing, where you're outside the ground and you're helping people and telling people where to go and stuff. I said, how come you doing this? He was just wanted to give back because he works for Everton. He just wanted to give back. He'd go the match afterwards, obviously, but he's very much, and he says this on the interview, he's very much about one of the big things he enjoys doing is helping people. I imagine he enjoys the feeling it gives him of helping. So I imagine if you could get down there, if it's something you're interested in, then do it.
You gonna go, Ned? Be good for you, that little 5k in the morning.
A bit out the way for Ned. I'll give him.
To be fair,
the carvery in the Britannia pub, though, used to go all the time.
He likes. Well, it's a twofer, isn't it?
There's a train station around the corner.
Is there a train station around the corner?
Through the woods, do you know the woods?
I know the woods.
It's his neck of the woods.
What are you?
Or was?
What are you doing in the woods?
Walking through the woods from the train station to the Britannia pub.
Okay.
And that's his pool next to the park.
But why are you taking a
Which is a great
train?
park.
Why are you taking a train to St Michael's to walk down to Otterspool?
To go to the Britannia pub.
But what? But
Nice
where?
pub.
I know.
I used to go loads with my dad.
But where have you got the train from?
I think I had to get at Junction and change somewhere. Did I have to change at Lime
So you've
Street?
got the train from St Helens Junction to Lime Street, from Lime Street to Central, from Central to St Michael's to walk to basically a very bog standard pub, like a chain.
It's got a nice park though. I
It's
used
got
to
a nice
go.
park. It's on the.
I've not been for a while though.
Is this when you were a child?
When I was like,
Are you misremembering something?
Early teen. No, I used to love Otterspool.
Early scene.
What did you do in Otterspool that you love so much?
Play in the park and go to the Britannia pub.
It's not really a park though, is it? It's more like a Otterspool prom.
Yeah, there's like a little park as well.
Is there?
There's a play area.
Yeah. There is a
Play
play
area.
It's not by the
It's not by the pub, though.
by the pub
It's just
though.
a bit further up.
The
innit?
other end.
Well, technically it's not. I'll be honest with you, Ned.
No, it's quite far. The other
We
way,
are
to the
we're
left.
literally talking about an area I spent all my youth in. So I will correct you massively on this. It's like me telling you about St. Helens.
It's quite away from the Britannia pub.
I think what you're
If
doing.
you looked at the river
Yeah,
and the pubs
yeah.
here, the play area is that way, town's that way.
Yeah, and I
There's
remember one
nothing
time.
between the Britannia and town.
I remember
The other
one
way,
time,
Go-kart.
got a bit of
There's go-kart.
We
You've
walked
gotta
all the way
walk a bit.
from the park and then to Britannia and then all the way down to the museum.
Yeah, that's a good walk, that.
And it-
Fair play, mate, fair play to you. But I tell you what, it's a hell of a walk.
That's sunburn.
It's a hell of a... All right, let's move on. What a
I
story.
remember that.
What a story.
Dad's watching. My dad will tell you.
No, I know.
Oh,
It just seems a very, very long way to go.
My dad used to.
I don't-
remember because it's.
But if you were, I can understand you driving. I can understand you driving in a car and your dad taking you in a car. It just seems a really long way to go. But that's fine.
Once because I learned how to blow my nose in the pub toilet, and I didn't know how to blow my nose before.
I mean, that's something I would expect his best man to tell at his wedding.
I was
Do
like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
He was
Blow my
14.
nose.
It's fair play. Listen,
Tremendous, Ned.
it's
You
fair
will
play.
always be here to share the joy. And
You will, and we love that about you.
But you won't be going running on.
That's one of my.
No, you won't be doing the social sliding at 8 a.m. on Sunday, let's
I
be
think
honest.
we took my mate Sam once. Sam Lyons.
Sam's
Still
involved
going.
now. Sam's
He's
being
still
dragged
going.
in. Poor Sam.
He gets all the mash on my plate. My dad will remember all this.
Me dad will remember.
Sam ate all the mash
That-
off.
Sam wasn't
It's
invited
good,
again.
but you could get up and keep getting more meat.
As long as you can get that meat, Ned, fair play to you. Peter Dunn says McMessy is boss in between two buns. Listening in LA, you've had me in bulk. There you go.
What we provide.
Sarath says Everton should sign Shea Adams, could use him for the season, or Antonio on a 1-year deal. Sell Gray. Okay.
Fair play.
McBoom Boom
Mm.
calls Neil.
Yeah.
Says Neil rather than McMessy. McBoom Boom. Fair play. I like that
I
better.
can't imagine that sticking though, Mac Boom Boom.
McBoom Boom. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dick L says at work today they were talking about Everton signing Mikel Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Any truth in that?
None of it comes from your mates.
Mm.
Mm.
It was
No,
in the Telegraph
Something
or,
we've been
or
linked with.
the Sun or
The
something.
signing we've been linked with. That's all.
David Green says season tickets dropping. The new season, they always get me back in every time. It's the hope that gets me through the turnstiles. You and all of us.
I got me digital one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got me
I don't know
digital
what
one,
my
yeah.
phone's trying to tell me, but I put it in me wallet,
And wouldn't have it?
and put it in like the bin. Expired
Phones
passes.
like that.
No,
Swear it.
You've had, lads, you know what that place does to you.
Yeah, you've
But
had-
you know your phone, like you watch my watch is connected to my phone. It's probably looking at me mood and me heart rate. And it's like, no, this is not good for you.
No,
You've
just swear
been
it.
told.
Just relax. Have a year where you just chill, then go back. Everton Vikings says, do you gents not think if we're going to loan Sulemana, we should have an option or an obligation to buy?
I don't think we've got that far yet.
We probably should for someone like him because he's young. So therefore, if he does well, you want to try and develop him. It's whether or not they would agree to that. And we might just be working in 12-month cycles at the moment. But realistically, for someone like him, yes, Everton probably should do. David Green also said Raya was on loan at Southport a few years ago. He was, wasn't he, when he was at Blackburn?
Yeah.
Remember Gary Brabham saying he told Everton to buy him?
Yeah.
So there's a goalie at Blackburn, looks very good. As always, Everton just ignored it.
Well, the attack against us once, he was unbelievable. Gary, this and this.
Oh, Gary Brabham,
Yeah.
David Raya.
No.
I was going to say, well, that's a bit weird.
Steve P wants to know, Ned, serious question for you. Why are people from St. Helens so obsessed with wanting to be Scousers?
That's not a serious question.
I mean, but he said it's a serious question. He's not like laughing and going, ha ha, he's asking you that's a serious question.
Vast majority of people.
Majority or
Vast
majority?
majority.
who are from St. Helens and
Yeah.
don't have family from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Don't like Scousers.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair play.
The Facebook is a good.
The vast
Is a
majority.
good
But isn't
source
that
for
the vast majority
Do
of
nothing but-
St. Helens people who don't have family? Is that what it is? Is that the vast majority of St Helens? People don't have family, or is the vast majority of the people from St Helens do have family?
I don't know.
What would the majority be?
St Helens are constantly moaning about all the Scousers that are moving into St Helens.
That's because it's cheap.
Oh yeah. My nan and granddad moved into St Helens from Bootle, and that's how.
Oh God.
That's
I have
how
to hear
I
that
ended up
story
being
one
born.
more time.
Fair enough, mate. You know, fair
With
enough.
my dad.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What I can say is 100% of Scousers don't want to be from St Helens.
Yeah, that is.
That's what
That's
I can
the
say.
majority
That is the
right there.
majority right
That
there.
is the
And
majority.
That's fact. Carl says, are you an Arsenal fan, Carl? Just out of interest. Let us know.
Yeah.
Because he whatever.
Can I just say on Ramsdale, he's a good shot stopper, but he's flappy as anything. Crosses. I seen goals last season where the ball, he has this weird thing.
Oh, the Carl's an Arsenal fan. Fine. Listen, mate, I've got no issue with it, right?
Yeah.
Pickford's better than him, in my opinion. I've seen Ramsdale.
Well, okay.
I don't care about England, if I'm honest. I really couldn't care less
Forget
about England.
Pickford, right? Is Raya better than Ramsdale? Give me answer that. But I don't know if you noticed this, right? But he has the weird thing of when the ball's going over his head, he bends his knees.
Ramsdale.
So go smaller, not bigger.
Got done from
He
in
does
the
that thing.
sporting game from the halfway
if you go
line.
back and watch highlights of the goals, you can see he always does this. He goes down and he looks up like that, and you're like, "What? It's gone."
Listen, he's a decent goalie. I just think Pickford's better than him. And I couldn't care less who's England's number one, to be honest. I don't care about England.
Yeah.
But there is this weird thing that just because he's your goalie, he's automatically better than who England's number one is. When it's just nonsense. It's like I couldn't sit here and go, well, we've got Amadou Onana and he's better than Odegaard. Because he isn't. Odegaard's better. My eyes tell me that. He's just a better player.
Science.
Pickford is just a better goalie than Ramsdale. It's just a fact. It's a fact. You know, it's not. Iwobi's not better than Saka, is he?
Pope is not England's number one. Jeez.
Oh, he never said Pope.
No.
Oh, that's it. No, it's end of story. Right, you've ruined it.
You've ruined the conversation. You've ruined the conversation.
You've ruined it. Tom Davies is better than Declan Rice.
Yeah. You've ruined it for everyone.
You've spoiled it for the world.
Spoiled it there.
You've spoiled, honestly. That's a shocking shout. That is really poor. Oh well, let's move on. That was no more goalie chat now, because it's like saying Simonson was better than Southall.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's really
good to learn. We were having
all right,
weren't we? But you've ruined it.
It was all right.
You've ruined that. Oh.
Like saying Chris Kawamya was better than Thierry Henry for Arsenal.
Basically.
That's terrible.
No,
That's
don't put Carl in a time out.
No, you can't do that. No, don't go that far. Put Carl back, because I think in a minute he'll realise what he's just said.
Put him back. Why have you put him out? He didn't swear at us or anything. He just
made a poor choice in his opinion.
He just made a bad opinion. It's a bad
Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Right. Danny says, Baz, are you going on this year's overlap? If so, what narrative do you think will be hurled your way? The Skeleton Stadium or FFP? I'm on it next week. I don't think the Skeleton Stadium will be hurled, because Gary Neville on one of the overlaps, when he seen it, was like, oh my God, that's going to be amazing.
In the Echo, he went on the ferry and he was like, what's that? And he went seven. John Barnes like, $7,000 grand. And he was like, is it?
And he was like, oh my God, they're going to dominate the city. I don't think they'll do that, but he said
he
it.
did say, he said I can see domination in their future.
So there you go. It might be League 2, League 1, you just never know. So I don't think that FFP, I imagine, will be brought up. I'm sure there'll be, you've had relegation battles and you're not worried you haven't signed 27 players. I'm sure they'll say that as well.
What's going on at the coach? What's been going on this summer? Pass.
And he'll just ask his family, won't he? He knows better than me.
No, but he likes
He'll be
it.
there with us. Of course. Where are we? Kevin Maloney says Matt Turner is better than Ramsdale.
He's supposed to be going to Forest.
He is supposed to be going to Forest because Arsenal getting rain.
This is an interesting one. Dennis Undav has completed his move from Brighton to Stuttgart on a season-long loan. I thought he was all right.
He don't, but they've got Evan, haven't they? He's just like tremendous, isn't he? And they've got João Pedro. And João Pedro, brilliant.
So that just shows you what kind of.
They're always moving, aren't they? They're always on the. People want to get better and better and better. They are moving and grooving. Hit that like button, by the way, like Carl did. Yeah, they're all constantly looking to improve, and the Undav did all right for them, but João Pedro, I think, will be tremendous for them. I think he will be tremendous.
Big Joe.
Everton Viking says Brandt seemed like a very sound fella. The interview with Bosch, I hope you can get a few more done. I'm at him on with Jimmy. Jimmy Martin wouldn't do one. He wouldn't do one, mate. He's like to be a little bit elusive, Jimmy.
Aloof.
He just wouldn't do it. Everton Viking also says you can have one of these three centre backs come into this current team in their prime. Who are you picking and why? Lucas Neal, Joe Yobo, or Johnny Heitinger?
Yobo?
Yeah.
I would
Yobo
personally.
Alongside Sahi.
Big.
Heitinger had one good season, I think. He was really, really good, but Yobo, I really, really loved him.
Heitinger was alright. He was
He
alright.
played a year for 1 year, didn't he?
2012.
Decent player.
He should have played in a three. Moyes had we've said this many
Perfect
times.
three.
Moyes had the perfect three. He had the perfect wing backs in Baines and Coleman.
You played all three of them at United.
But he could have done it, couldn't he? And he
Some left back.
option to buy with Undav as well,
Interesting.
which is interesting.
Interesting.
But yeah, and he got Mohamed Dahoud as well, haven't he? So
Yeah.
EFC 1878 Mark says, any chance we could get Alex Scott Garner Onana would be lovely midfield for the new stadium. No, he's going to Bournemouth, isn't he? 25 million. They've agreed 25.8 million. I think they've agreed today. So the Blues says Undav did have a purple patch at the end of the season, but I think he's a miss for them, just like Mopai. He'll leave eventually. He may prove me wrong though.
Fair play.
No, I think so.
Got a chance to flip while his name's good. Do we?
Yeah. Jack Lee says Yobo and Brantwaite. I don't know. I think Yobo needed someone like a Tarkovsky next to him. Because he did have some moments, Joe, like, didn't
Yeah, he did have a couple of hairy ones.
Yeah, he did. But his pace, good pace, good physicality. Yeah, done all right. 5 million quid from Marseille or whatever it was. Yeah, 5 million, wasn't it? Moyes' first ever.
That was a loan, wasn't it?
A loan for a year, yeah, and then signed him. Gary Coppell said, just come in and seen a lot of negativity towards.
He's left us hanging
left
there,
us
hasn't he? He is left.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know.
Pickford,
maybe.
Iwobi,
Ned.
McNeil, Ned,
No, the
Undav.
comment is just, I've seen a lot of negativity
towards.
That's not how sentences normally end.
No.
It makes
No.
sense to me.
It doesn't make sense to anybody.
Makes perfect sense.
Che Adams.
Che Adams.
He'd be all right for us. Remember Marcus Ben. Ned, how could you think that was the end of the sentence?
Why did you think Gary had just put a sentence like that? Gary knew what he was doing. He's tried to do that and it's just gone. Che Adams.
You've done Gary dirty there.
Che Adams. I don't know. Would he be all right? If Everton had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Che Adams and Yusuf Chimiti and they were the three, yeah, it'd probably be okay. There's others that probably want before him, but he'd come in and work hard. He's a handful. He's stronger than Maupai. And we are where we are right now, aren't we?
We are.
Ronnie Wilson says, lads just got in from work listening to TalkSport all day, hoping Everton would make a signing. Can you give us an update of who's out and who's in? Cheers, great show.
Yeah.
Well, no one's come in today and no one's gone out today. Tom Cannon's very close to going out on loan. According to all reports, Yusuf Chimiti's very close to coming in. There's a lot of links to the likes of Sulemana. There's a lot of hot air going round over Wilfred Nonso. Even those agents desperate to get him here. Yeah. So I think that's, at the moment, that's about it. Jack Lee says Tarky's another Keane, in my opinion.
You're wrong.
You are wrong there.
You're just wrong. You're wrong.
Brilliant last season.
Absolutely wrong.
Steve P says Dahoud is a centre mid. He is a centre mid. He's an attacking centre mid, isn't he? But yeah, he is. Andrew Thornton says play Tom Cannon. Well, Preston will.
Preston will, yeah.
Yeah. Carl says Nick Pope is a human pylon. He's a big lad.
Yeah, fair play.
He's a big lad for his mum. That is fair. Let's just refresh Premier there. Richard Hinley says, all I can remember about Simonson was that he was the spit from Mike from Neighbours, Guy Pearce. He did look very much like he had a Guy Pearce vibe about him.
Not sure about
No,
that.
he did.
No, okay.
Look at Mike Young in Neighbours and look at Steve Simonson. Very, very similar. Finn says, I'd take prime Yobbo as long as his shoelaces are tied. Remember that when he started tying his lace in the box and we conceded the goal?
Why has Carl said Nike Pope?
I know, he meant Nick.
He's changed his shirt and sponsored. I don't really like his name's Yobo, not Yobbo though, isn't he?
Yobo. Joseph Yobo.
I never liked that.
But he was tying his laces once and we conceded the goal.
Fair play.
Fair play to him. Remember that time when, was it?
He played the ball across the Rooney as well.
Just passed it to Rooney to score against us, his first goal against us. Do you remember, was it Gylfi, when he just sat on the floor and he couldn't be arsed getting up? What was it, Pina? He just sat on the floor and couldn't be arsed getting up till we scored and then just put it.
Fair play.
It's tremendous.
I mean, he did that against Man United.
I love all that. Did it?
He did that against Manchester United.
And it got disallowed. He was fond of sitting on the floor, to be fair. Simon S says, realistically, lads, who you bring in as a creative midfielder? And who would your three midfielders be? I don't think Everton will be looking at creative midfielders, to be honest.
No. It's pointless having creativity.
No, I don't think they would. I think they're looking for more athletic midfield. And they've got a Wobie in there, Decore, Onana, Ghana. Are they really going to go and look? I mean, if I could, I'd bring in Daichi Kamada, but he can play off the flank as well, though. But I don't think they would be looking for that. Alex says Che Adams would be awful. Less goals than Maupai, apart from last season.
I mean, it's more relevant to have someone who scored more goals
last season
recently than
no penalties. Maupai was a pen merchant. You know. Ashley Day says, read the report, Nonto told his agent he doesn't want Everton and wants Italy instead. Yeah, but then for every one of them, there's six that say he wants Everton and his agent's pestering Leeds to let him go. R. Sharma says Andre Gomez should get another chance.
No. He did have a chance against Bolton. He's rubbish.
He's going to go, isn't he?
See ya.
He's going to Saudi clubs want him and Lille want him back, and I imagine with 11 or 10 and a half months left on his contract, he'll end up somewhere else. That boy says the Italian clubs don't have the money for Nonto. No, I don't think Everton have the money for what Leeds want for Nonto, to be honest. Steve P says Marcus Ben cost 500 grand and Che Adams could cost at least 15 million. It's not the same at all. No, but 500 grand.
Isn't that just...
That's called 20 years difference as well, by the way.
Game's completely different.
Eamon says the young lad doesn't want to come to Everton. That's sad and embarrassing. Well, is it? Which young lad? It's not Nonto, because that is completely untrue at the moment. Whether he does, who knows? Where are we here? Sarath says, I hope that Tom Cannon to perform well in pre-season, but I was disappointed.
He's been injured.
He just needs to go back to Preston, smash it, and then we can make a proper decision on him next summer. Ronnie says, you worried we're under 2 weeks away to start the season and only signed 2 average players?
Yeah. But we've got like 10 months of worrying, so...
Yeah, don't worry too.
Start early, doesn't it?
Dan says Gomez to Saudi for 200 million. Job done.
Probably the best way.
Even 20 million?
That's probably the best way to finish the show, I'd say. Because it's like past.
Kevin Maloney says Keane would be a better option at striker than Adams.
Maybe.
Right, hit that like button. Don't forget, get over to More Than a Game. The Michael Branch interview is live in 1 minute.
Right now, get over there.
Go over there and do it now. It's brilliant, honestly. Leave a comment and a like on that video as well. Put your thoughts below what you think of the video, the interview with Michael Branch. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you later. Bye.